Let's start from the beginning. When did you first start drinking habitually?
Oh, he's so fast. He's so serious. I guess high school, just like everybody else. Started, hanging out with friends, drinking to fit in, make friends. Thought you were cooler when you're drunk. Um, but I guess for me, it got a little bit serious.
When did it start getting serious?
I'd say grade 12, probably. Was drinking like 3-4 days a week. It started affecting like my grades and my ambitions and what I was gonna do. I think as everybody left high school, I didn't really, I didn't really have any aspirations of what to do. I just wanted to work and drink. And then the car accident happened. And everything kind of spiraled out of control like really quickly. And I guess that was kind of like the breaking point where I had to step back and look and be like, wow, like I gotta do something. Okay, so we're walking towards this spot where this car accident happened. We left this party and we were heading home back to my friend Devin's house. We came around this corner and the car flipped off of a cliff, kind of. I haven't been here in a couple years. It brings up some feelings, I guess. We must have come off there and then it like flipped over, and I think it like came down here, like slid down, and the back of it got crushed, and that's how Aaron died. And then the front side, Devin's side, got pretty mangled, and mine was okay, and I was like on this side. So I had to like open Devin's door and then like go out.
Did you crawl over him, kind of?
Yeah. Yeah, and then I like ran up there, and then there was some people.
Yes, people heard the crash.
Yeah, these people in one of these houses here.
Yeah, and you're the only one wearing your seatbelt, right?
Yeah, I buckled up like not far away. Like I buckled up like 30 seconds before it happened.
Do you think that might have saved your life?
Yeah, for sure. I always buckle up now. I like cover my head and suddenly we're like upside down in water. There's nothing really that like marks it though. There was like a mural here for a little bit. Now it's just kind of like nobody even knows it happened.
Well, this is here because of it.
Yeah. It was pretty mangled.
Yeah.
The car was totally.
You could see like their shoes floating in the water and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it was messed up. Wasn't in good shape.
So where does it go from there? It gets.
It's kind of a blur after that. I was working, not working, partying a lot, doing lots of drugs. You know, it wasn't just alcohol, but it mostly, I mean, alcohol was always like the main, crutch. I kept making promises, be like, no, I won't drink tonight, or no, I won't, spend all my money. My last time drinking was alone. I don't really remember what happened. I had like a giant bottle of gin and totally blacked out somewhere in North Van, and apparently went home, got in a fight with my dad, got in a fight with the cops, and woke up strapped to a hospital bed in North Van, and then passed out and woke up at Edgewood. I had to stop doing this. My health was degrading. I looked like shit. I'd tell myself things that I truly believed and I wouldn't follow through with them. And once that happens enough times, either you're like totally, completely insane, or you can get help for it.
Like what you don't deal with, it remains. And I've seen people use alcohol and drugs to self-medicate themselves, to freeze over, to not feel what it is they feel. And at first you do it as a way just to cope, as a way to make it more palatable, make life easier to be able to forget. But the problem with it is that it grows, is that what it takes to help you just deal with something in time requires more and more of your time and energy and body.
At the time you don't think, oh, I'm self-medicating. You're just drinking away your pain and numbing yourself out and freezing. And that's that connection with different life events and trauma and how you cope with it.
I hadn't felt anything in so long that when I was getting all these like feelings back after like suppressing them for so long, I didn't really know like how to deal with it. So, you know, I probably shed some tears. Yeah.
It's like a pond freezes over. So choosing to be in recovery and walk sort of a road to sobriety is kind of like the pond unfreezing. You're choosing to unfreeze in your life. You're choosing to stop the self-medication, stop the freezing over. So on the one hand, there's a euphoria with somebody who makes a decision, I don't want to be frozen anymore, I don't want to be asleep in my life. So and that's what the 12 steps is about. But on the other hand, whatever it is, you know, when a pond unfreezes, there's still stuff there that rises to the surface. And those things, perhaps not all of them, need to be looked at so that you don't fall into relapse, so that you don't create your life around avoiding something.
How did you feel like coming back home? You have a lot of friends that still like to drink and stuff like that. Were you kind of a little skeptical? Like
I didn't know what exactly was going to happen, but I've kind of decided like there's a few people I don't talk to anymore. There's a lot of fair weather friends, like people that I only drank with just because they'd put up with me, and I don't talk to them anymore. Like, you know, they weren't real friends to begin with. My core group of friends still talk to all the time, hang out, and then I made a whole bunch of new friends, sober friends. You know, I've got a sober roommate now. I guess I've become a little bit more spiritual since, you know, going to AA. But I don't know, it just overall makes you, I think, a better person. You know, everybody there's there for the same purpose, and you meet all sorts of people. I always thought, like, growing up, an alcoholic was like somebody under the bridge, you know, with like a trench coat and like some cheap bottle of liquor drinking out of a paper bag, which it can be that, but it affects everybody. Like, almost everybody knows somebody who's, you know, had a substance abuse problem, and now I like to, you know, I'm pretty open about it, obviously, and I like to help people. Like, there's a lot of young guys, young girls that struggle with it.
When you first enter, you don't know that your life's going to be better. We can tell you that, but you have to experience it. So that's one of the reasons why we say just focus on today. Just focus on today. It's not a surprise to me that Ross is still sober today, because he is not just talking the talk, he's walking the walk.
Most people, I think, relapse. When somebody relapses after like a long time of sobriety, it's definitely not a mistake. Like, it's not just like a flick of the switch. They say it happens like months and months before, and it just ends up in a drink. Like, there's all these signs of people's programs like going downhill, and it's preventable. But you have to basically, as they say, like, keep doing the work. Once that starts slipping and you don't do anything about it, like, it usually ends up in a relapse. I might at some point, but for now I'm not going to. Like, I think that it's kind of cheesy, but that saying like one day at a time is like pretty prevalent. Like, some people might, you know, get overwhelmed by the whole like idea of trying to be sober forever. Like, my core group of friends that I met there are all still doing it. So, I don't know, I guess I'm just lucky.